get started. So, Ken, Chris, whoever wants to fire away, go ahead.
Well, Austin, what does it mean to you to be on the Walker Cup team, and how is it going to affect, with the dates that they have it in May this year, part of your OSU season, and how do you work that in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it means a lot to have an opportunity to play for, your country and all sorts of things. And, we've talked about it before that it's a big goal of a lot of college kids is to play on the Walker Cup team. It's something that, it's got a nice ring to it, and it's something everybody looks forward to. But it's going to make the schedule a lot more difficult than it already was, adding in another tournament into the already hectic spring season, especially this year with us playing one more event than we normally do. And right before regionals, I mean, it's going to be a lot, but, obviously it's going to be a lot of fun and kind of a nice little relaxing break in a way. You're kind of going to a completely different type of tournament. It's not the stress of college golf, it's kind of a fun, but then also at the same time playing for your country. So it's a completely different animal, but it'll be fun.
How many of the GB&I team are college players, or how many are going to have to come over from?
I have no idea, honestly, of the other team. I don't know anybody on the team. I haven't seen a list of anybody yet. So.
Well, you sure know one guy on your team. You guys played together in a lot of practice rounds during the summer, and he was there for your fantastic round last summer, right?
Yeah. I'm actually about to go play golf with Quaid right now after this. So, it's really cool that we both got to make the team this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we're paired together and in one of the matches for the alternate shot. So, obviously it's a really cool opportunity for both of us. And, I think both of us are rooting pretty heavy for the other two to make, or for the other guy to make it. It was funny though, so we got a phone call telling us that we were getting in, that they had accepted us. And I was afraid to text him and ask him if he had gotten the phone call, because I didn't want to be the guy to say, hey, did you get the call? And then he didn't get the call. So I waited, and then he texted me and asked if I got the phone call. So I didn't want to be the first guy to ask.
So what was that conversation like after you figured out you both made it?
Oh, we were both just pumped. I mean, it's kind of nerve-wracking, there is some play if you're the top three, obviously your play dictates if you get in, and then outside of that, it's a pick. So, I mean, you can think that you have a good chance, but, it's nerve-wracking. It's up to somebody else. And luckily for both of us, it worked out good.
Hey, Austin, can you kind of explain that phone call and, your emotions immediately following it? Kind of what was that like? Where were you? Kind of stuff like that?
Yeah, I was at we were at a college event in Tallahassee, and I don't remember the days or anything, but I was it was about a week before maybe they announced the team, and I just finished the round. I shot 69 the last round. I kind of had a iffy tournament, but I was in a better mood, and then I had a text message on my phone saying to look at my voicemail. So I listened to my voicemail as the president of the USGA, and so I called him back, and basically told me I was on the team, and it was, I was already in a pretty good mood from the round, and then I was ecstatic, and I told coach and my dad, and they were both extremely excited for me. It was a really cool moment.
Right, and obviously the Walker Cup's a different kind of animal with the competition level, but you guys have played a pretty tough season coming up. You got to see a lot of the top 10, top 5 teams in the nation. You play at OU almost, in the Big 12 all the time.
Yeah.
How does that kind of help you, or how is that going to help you prepare for this kind of event?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to prepare for a event like the one that we're going to, just because we rarely play alternate shot, which is all the team format of it except for singles. And I think we've talked about it before, as long as we can tie them through the alternate shot, we've got a good chance going into the finals day. But obviously just playing against good competitors and everything, there's always ways to prepare, and I think that's just what we're gonna have to do is just play tough schedules like we do, and I think it'll help.
Hey Ryan, who was the last OSU Walker Cupper?
Jordan Eberge.
Jordan, okay. And how many is it? Oh,
I'm going to throw this at you, Austin. I'm going to throw a two-part one at you for these guys. We've had a long history with the Walker Cup here at Oklahoma State. 26 appearances. Some of those multiples. First off, what is it like, for you to add your name to that list of Cowboys to participate in the event? And then the second part of that, when I've talked to Ricky, Peter, Morgan, any of those guys that have played and worn the U.S. colors, played for their country, they said it's one of those things that you just have to do it. You can't describe the feeling. I know you got to, had the Palmer Cup. So what is that part like, getting to represent your country?
Yeah, to answer the first part, obviously it's a very strong list, and to be considered, one of those guys is really means a lot to me. There's, the most recent ones in my mind are Jordan, and then the Ricky, Peter, all those guys. And to just be in the same category as those guys means a lot. And but then on the second part, I've done the Palmer Cup. I played in Japan for the U.S. I've had some opportunities, but I mean, this is the Walker Cup. It's it's something a little bit different. And I'm guessing that Ricky's right whenever he says that you have to experience it to know what it's like. I'm hoping that it'll be a similar atmosphere. I'm hoping that there's some fans there, but either way, I think it's going to be one of those moments that you'll never forget.
What about have you been to Seminole?
Not yet. I'm going to Seminole. Me, Quaid, Cole Hammer, and Pearson Cootie are all going on March 27th and 28th to go do a couple practice rounds, because we're welcome out there whenever we want now. So we're all going to go there. That's another thing adding into our schedules. Go play some practice rounds. So that'll be a good time, and a good time to go learn the course.
Did you talk to Matt or Rick about that at all? Get a scouting report on the golf course from those guys?
Not yet. I'm playing with Matt today. I'll ask him a few questions.
Yeah, they were in a special two-man deal out there, weren't they?
Yeah, it's really close to where they live. So they did that kind of made for TV, tailor-made thing. I know it's a great golf course. I've heard really only good things about it.
Well, with the PGA Tour University status that you have, what is kind of your schedule? Go straight to the NCAA and then turn pro immediately, or what's the?
Yeah, with PGA Tour University, if I stay in the top 5, I mean, it's finish nationals and you're playing the next week on the web.com tour. So and you've got, if I'm in the top 5, you have 8 starts on the Corn Ferry Tour. So it's that summer. That's going to be a busy, starting about next tournament when we start playing really, really busy schedules. I mean, I'm going to be playing almost every week until, August.
Yeah, so you've got to add in the Walker Cup to that. It's quite a.
Yeah. Luckily, the Walker Cup, there's an exemption through locals, because I'm exempt through locals qualifying for the U.S. Open through my amateur exemptions. But if I was to play the U.S. Open as a pro, you have to play the local qualifier, because you can't use the amateur exemption. But the Walker Cup allows you to skip the locals qualifier. So that's just one less thing to have to worry about, but I can still play as a pro if I make it through sectionals.
I understand you had another unique experience recently as serving as the player consultant for a bid on a renovation at Kickingbird. Yeah. Tell me about that.
Still waiting on results for the on who's getting the job, but there's a guy named Colton Craig and Colton Craig Design. They reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in helping them with the design of possibly Kickingbird's renovations that they're doing. And I thought it'd be really cool. It's a place that I grew up out there. Basically, I learned how to play golf there. We joked around in the interview. I made my first birdie there. I won my first tournament there. It's just kind of like a place. It's kind of like home to me. So, given the opportunity, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if Colton will win that job or not, but I think he's got a strong chance. That'll be.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it seemed like everything went pretty well. We'll see.
Oh, Austin, you mentioned you're playing with Quaid today, and you're going with Pearson Cootie and Cole Hammer down sometime in March. How have you guys kind of grown that friendship even though through competing in against each other in
Yeah.
Big 12?
Yeah, I mean, with Cole, and I've known Cole since we were like 12 years old. I mean, maybe before that actually, but me and Cole have been really good friends for a while. Our dads have become pretty good friends, and they talk all the time. So it's I'd say I've known Cole the longest probably. And then we kind of went our different ways in college, but we've maintained that friendship, and obviously we don't like losing to each other or anything. So there's the competitive factor there, but I mean, it doesn't affect the friendship in any way. And Quaid and I've known Quaid for a long time, just from the OJGTs growing up and stuff. But we didn't really become friends or close until more recently. But there's still the rival factor there with both of those guys. And then Pearson I kind of met in college, and he's just like, you play golf with him, he's a good guy. Really nothing against him. So other than the fact that he plays for Texas, that's the only thing I got against him. But he's a good guy, and it's been fun to create friendships while playing against other guys. It's an interesting kind of way to make friends, but it works.
Austin,
Right.
give us a scouting report on the Cowboys for this spring. You obviously have a lot of new players, a lot of guys from around the world. I'm sure you've had to learn how to say good shot in a lot of different languages, maybe. I don't know. Who all is the starting lineup pretty well set now, or are still guys going in and out? Or
I think we got a lot of good players this year. This is kind of similar to my freshman year where we've got, we're maybe not as strong right now, but in the fact that we've got 10 guys that could possibly play in the top 5, there's, I think that, the lineup's still up in the air. We've kind of played with different lineups at every event, I think, this semester. And we'll see how it ends up. I think that we've got a good team somewhere among the 5, and we just got to figure out who that is. They're among the 10. We'll find the 5 that'll help us win the national championship.
the team down the road's got some ideas on that national championship too, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They're a good team. I mean, they really are. The COVID year really helped them a lot. I mean, they've got maybe 3 of their starting 5 is 5th and 6th years, maybe all 6 years. I don't know. They're old. They're mature. They're experienced. I mean, they're a good team, and they're going to be tough to beat. But I like our chances.
It's kind of cool for the state to have 2 of the top heavyweights slugging it out. Looking forward to didn't get to meet last year, and everybody was hoping for it.
Yeah, it's not like there's 2 just Oklahoma college players that they grew up in Oklahoma, not too far apart from each other. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, both on the Walker Cup team too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, Austin, how have you kind of seen yourself grow throughout this year? You started off a little slower than you probably would have liked in the first tournament. You've been consistently up there, moving up in the leaderboard, finished top 5 this weekend. How have you seen yourself kind of grow this year?
Yeah, I kind of was struggling with some things early on, not in the golf swing and stuff. Just golf's hard. Sometimes you have up and downs. I was a little just fighting just little things. It's nothing really big. Just sometimes you get a little off, and I was a little bit at the beginning of the year, and then I got some confidence going into Mexico, and I played really well. It's funny, we talk about it all the time. It just takes one swing, and then as good as you ever were. And I went to Mexico playing really well. Didn't really play anything until our first college event. Struggled a little bit. But I've been moving in the right direction. Putting's holding me back right now, and it's really, if I would have putted halfway decent last week, it would have most likely would have won. But that's just something. They all count the same. 2-foot putt counts the same as a 300-yard drive. But I'm trending in the right direction for sure. Hitting the ball well. Feeling good about the game. Just need to make a few more putts.
And one final thing for me: what's it been like to get coached by Alan Bratton in your years in college?
It's really, Coach Bratton's, clearly a great coach. I mean, you can see it through his players that have made it to the PGA Tour already. He's, he doesn't just coach a golf team. He, coaches guys to make it to the next level. He understands our goals, and he's really trying to help us achieve those. And he's been one of those guys who's tried to achieve those goals and, didn't succeed in that. And he was the best player in the country. So he understands how to do it. He knows the areas where he messed up, and he can help us in that way. But then he's also just a really smart golfer. He understands the game really well, and just learning some things from him has really helped me along the way. I wouldn't say that my skill set's entirely different than it was my freshman year of college, but I'm a hell of a lot better golfer because of Coach Bratton and Coach Dar. I mean, they're both incredible, mentors in the game, and it's helped us a lot.
What have you
Thanks,
been able to
Austin.
learn from your roommate there, and seeing how he's gone out and become one of the top 5 players, probably clearly now on
Yeah.
the PGA Tour?
Victor or Matt? There's
Wow.
2 of them.
Oh, Matt. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Victor. He's the one you're living with now, right?
Yeah. Victor, I mean, it's obviously impressive what he's doing right now. I mean, I don't really know how he does it, because he's just, it's impressive. I mean, he's just as easygoing lifestyle and just plays good golf. I mean, the one thing to learn from him is how to live with no stress. It makes everything else easy. He doesn't worry about anything, and I think that's a good way to live. It's a good way to succeed. And obviously he's doing something right. Need to ask a few more questions, I think, from him.
Yeah. And Matt, I guess was that performance when he pulled out? Have you seen him since then, or?
Yeah, seen him today actually for the first time. So that's about it. I mean, I've talked to him a few times, but I think he's just struggling a little bit.
Okay. I didn't know if it wasn't anything physical then.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else for Austin before we let him go tee it up?
Nope. That's great. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Austin.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. All right. Go play well.
All right.
Have a great
All
time
right.
at the Walker Cup.
Thank you.